Her Own Pony, Chapter 8, Day 3, Paint the Scene. There was some pony knocking on her door. That was the first thought that crossed her mind as she awoke. The sun has already risen in the sky, but a blanket had shielded her eyes from it, blocking the rays that threatened to wake her early in the morning. And Noe stopped for a moment before resuming. "Hello, Mrs. Pye. Are you awake?" Paul's mantle voice drifted through the door quietly. "I don't mean to intrude, but Fancy wishes to get out into Camelot early today, and I take it they have something special planned. You may not want to keep on waiting." She let her head fall back into the mesh of blankets. She did not really feel like moving today. Her head was groggy, the tears from the previous night still hanging around her head, preventing her from relaxing even in sleep. But Fancy was her host. There was no telling what he might do if she didn't humour him by coming into town. The slightly disgruntled pony moved the blankets aside and staggered to hooves, almost falling over for a few seconds as the blood rushed to her head. Without thinking, she walked over to the door and opened it, grabbing the attention of Polished, who was starting to walk away. He turned to face her, and his eyes widened. "Miss Pye," he said, "are you feeling well? You know that I can always get Fancy to reschedule any plans he has. You did not need to get out of bed on his behalf." "Feeling well? Sure, she'll be able to go to Camelot just fine. Might as well, Fancy. Fancy Paul showed me something just as cool as the last few days." She quickly fixed a smile on a dial. "Why is it a dial?" And waved Polish away. "Nah, I feel great. I'll be down in a few minutes." A thought flew into her head, and she ushered Polish away with a hoof. "Just let me get ready." Without waiting for an answer, she practically slammed the door and dove onto her bed, muffling her muzzle on the sheet. She let a small squeak of excitement. They was almost there. She'd be seeing the princess tomorrow, and everything be fixed. No more secrets, no more lies, no more running. She'd be safe, hopefully. And she only had to get through one more day until she was there. But another thought occurred to her. She darted into the bathroom. Some Polish had said that she looked sick. She reached the mirror and froze. His meaning became apparent immediately. His coat was worse than the night before, paling substantially, just in time. It had taken for the morning to arrive. The woman's bright pink coat, no one had the faintest trace of his original colour, remained with it. But his eyes, he must have known his eyes too. She could have sworn she saw him wince for a moment as he caught sight of her. He must have noticed. They weren't natural. They couldn't be natural. The black eyes weren't a thing of nature, or at least from what she already seen. And they weren't as black as normal eyes that were black. They were blackest, and height was black. A poor darkness, where she had looked normal, covering her entire eye. One thing was certain, however. She could not go out in the Camelot looking like this. She could just had to tell them that she wasn't going out. Oh, but she couldn't do that. She already told them that she would come, and if she backed out, they would only become more concerned, and they'd want to know what was wrong with her. They take her somewhere. They check on her. They examine her. They question her, interrogate her, and then they know the truth. No, she couldn't raise suspicion. She just had to go to town normally and try to stop them from thinking something was wrong somehow. But how would she prevent them from seeing her coat and her eyes? They weren't the kind of things that you could hide every day. If only there's some sort of cultural thing the Camelot ponies had, anything to hide themselves, to change their outward appearance and make themselves look different from how they usually were. She sighed, exaggeration. There could be anything like that. It just sounded too weird. Ponies never had anything, and fancy man didn't do anything like. She took a moment to slap herself in the head. Stupid, she was being stupid. Of course, something like that. Many things, in fact, things that would perfectly hide the problem that she had. She quickly patted herself on the back and hurried out of the bathroom. Scanning the room, she found the thing she was looking for. It looked amazing. The same in the corner of the room, so hidden from her sight, but slowly jumped to her, aid in a moment of need. The wardrobe. She practically jumped into it, ignoring the sudden urge to check for lines. Investigated, it was absolutely full of clothing. How ridiculously colourful and bright. Some short, some long, some big, some small. But all his desire to conceal. Except for one thing that looked like it was meant to do the opposite. What does some point need with a black lace? But she shoved all the items of clothes away from her. She had one that would be her, not some silly thing. Ah, here we go. I'll admit, you did surprise me a little with your choice of pearl. What's wrong with it? Fancy face and we lost all of his already pale colour, and his eyes shrugged to pinpoint. Nothing is wrong with it, he stammered, sounding a bit frightened. She had shrugged it off, as being fears of clothing. Her clothes she quickly mended. First took off his hesitation. No, my dear, you look amazing. Even if your look is rather unusual, for ponying around about the town, that is not. That there is anything bad about pony wearing a cloak out and about. He finished with a grin, and seemed more unsure than anything else for some reason. I'll have to ask about his fear of clothing options. I mean, it's not like I'll take off fancy if you told me how I looked, or I haven't even worn clothes before. She took the thought of her head, stifling a snort at the prospect of that actually happening. Instead, concentrated on her surroundings, which were as bright and vibrant as the last 2 days, combined. If anything, they're brighter than anything in the whole Equestria. She had imagined the Ponyville was pretty nice, and Canada was slightly less nice, but all the time she assumed that they were about as colourful as a place would get. Well, she was wrong by a long shot. Putting it simple, so it looked as if the whole rainbow had suddenly forgotten that it was meant to hover, and instead it started belly flopping. The area beneath it would be much more fun, and the ponies looked like they're joining the fun. In all honesty, the whole place looked like one dynamically bigorific explosion of colour. Fancy walked the two of them into the district only a few minutes ago, attracting a few glances of fur clothing. However, a single pony on the street at the time had been in something was just as strange, if not more so, than on garb. Even the ones that weren't wearing any clothing were weird-looking stripes and circles, round shapes covering their bodies. Yes, that was incredibly obvious. Even some pony had no clue what they were. That ponies found them were artists, and fancy I glide by pointing out the obvious when they walked into the area. But it's still early in the morning. Not many ponies want to be out for no particular reason, even if they just wanted to do a little painting for fun. See what was more important. No exception. Except for when a pony that was getting a free ticket, the freedom at their hands, the most powerful, elusive at times, ponies of the world, yet that was usually came just a little above her sleep routine. Routine? Huh. Makes it like I've actually been doing something for more than 4 or 5 days. Standing next to her, must have a sixth sense for down front business. He saw a quick, concerned glance. He gave a soft tap on her shoulder. Pinky, he started, are you feeling well? I mean, we can postpone the outing if you're not to a day about the city. She contemplated that. He had said it himself, so she'd be free of any guilt if she went back to his mansion tower. She went back, so the whole day did nothing, alone with her thoughts. She winced slightly and tried to straighten her posture. Nah, I think for a day I'm good, don't you? Fancy eyed her. Are you sure about that? You've been acting a bit. Yes, she said softly. Fancy seeing her reaction, she softened her tone. Yes, he repeated. I'll be fine. Just Point me where I go, and I'll follow you. The uncle nodded slowly. Very well, Pinky. Let me show you around. He paused for effect. The artist district. More than one point glance scarcely at the source of the outburst. He shrunk down, and burned at their gaze. You might have said that too loudly, Fancy. She whispered loudly. Oh, yes, I think I realize that, he replied, his face coloring mildly. Let's move on. I do not want to make any more of a scene than we already have. We? Eyeing him dutifully, she followed the predictable guide, let him take her along the street. Miles passed her by on either side. The picture is just about anything she can imagine. One might saw a giant plate of bananas. Next one to it had a cannon pointing to the moon. A pointer flying out of it with a helmet on. One recorded was Luna herself, resplendent in the jewellery, flying above an icky black ocean that perfectly blended with the sky. The moon was large in the background, the sea cutting through its midsection, making perfectly circle as spines both ocean and sky. Francis looked up beside her. You know, he said, I always made me wonder when I saw these. Wonder what? He looked surprised as she had answered him. Oh, I was just thinking to myself. That intrigued me was Nightmare Moon. Tales always said that poets never appreciated at night a good 1,000 years ago. He trailed waving a hoof in the direction of her Merle. This must be a welcome sight to her. He muzzled only quietly, but it was too soft for her to hear. Fancy Ed gave a quick turn. Okay, then let's be off. Much more to see on this fine day. I am sure that we can find something else that's just as My, if it isn't my old friend the Fancy Pants. They still calling you that now? What happened to the old blighter? Her standing head continued faster. She had yet to see it. Fancy but turned, and much more or less in a second, toward the voice of the voice. Can it be? He breathed. His voice broken like, Ah, it's you. He didn't waste any time breaking into it. What could only be a full on sprint toward North Point Street. She hurried on after him boldly. When she caught up to him, she saw a massive hog with another stallion, both cackling badly. But one was cackling. She couldn't imagine Fancy Pet ever doing that. The other pony, it looked like it was all the hero did. His face creased with years of smiling. And he was a zebra. Well, he looked like a zebra. A zebra could have different colors to use with black and white, but red and green. Fancy Pants was hugging a red and green zebra. Well, that's new. Zebra pulled out of the hug to get a look at Fancy struggling. I cannot believe this. First day back, and I see you? He yelled enthusiastically. I thought I was going to have to search everywhere, he said. Cannot believe this. His accent was changing as he spoke for some reason. Fancy Pants smiled back. I cannot I cannot believe it either, Stone. I am about as surprised as you are. What brings you here? The last time I heard, you were out in the Griffin Kingdom. You changed your mind? Stone shrugged. You know me. I can't stay in one place for too long. Had to keep moving. Besides, griffins are boring as hell. If you get to know them, which I did, they have a thing for music. I'll tell you that. Stone was her behind Fancy, turned to face her. Hello, who is this fine pony? He pressed the sound in his mouth. Fancy rolled his eyes. This is my stream cast, Pinkie Pie. She is currently staying with me. She decided to take a break and come and see the city. I'll be showing her around a little. He slapped the hoof with his forehead. How to me, Pinkie Pie. It's my old colleague, Rolling Stone. He is a musician. Supposedly, she looked at his flank. And sure enough, there's a picture of some string instrument, a cavern behind it. Stone glanced at Mark seriously. And what exactly does that meant to mean? Fancy grinned. Well, I don't want to tell Pinky outright. These songs sound like a Friendship Express breaks after they covered in rust. Oh, you're so nice, Fancy, Stone said sarcastically. Fancy grew smile. Indeed, I'm just likable that way. Stone's voice took an uncanny impression of Fancy's own voice. Oh yes, quite right. Pip pip cheerio, Scaloo. Better go see my perfect mansion, that old chap. Oh, I can play so much better than my amazing friend Rolling Stone. He doesn't know anything about music. He burst out laughing with a fancy expression. Oh man, he never liked me doing those impressions. The multicoloured porcelain stained pony ignored his friend with ease. Much practice, and turned to her. Come on, why don't I take you all over to my place? It's not far. There are few new additions to the crew that I might want to meet. That part struck their fancy, and I could introduce the rest of you, my esteemed guest, Pinkie Pie. He snickered, poking fun at Fancy. The pseudo stallion rolled his eyes. Very well, then this might soak up some time. What do you say, Pinky? Sure, was all she said. Stone struck a pose. Then let's be off. This is so cool. Yep, I own it, so it goes where I want it to go. The two are standing in front of a house with wheels. Well, it wasn't a house, only the size of one. But put it in the caravan. Good for me. The caravan in the middle of the grassed area, only a few hundred yards from Artist District. Easily accessed for anyone with a fancy drawing. This confused glanced from her, at least until Stone had explained that you could just easily walk to one of the other districts, the park lot point, and get anywhere. It became obvious. That's why a caravan would need this access to anywhere the moment she stepped inside. For at least 8 points of already lounging around in any space crevice. Somehow each point might find a place to stay. Some hanging from the roof of the hammock, some in bean bags, some in tiny recessed cavities in the wall. She quickly took off her coat. What if she might offend him in some way if she didn't? As Stone stepped, someone called out gently, but she returned the kind before turning his companions. Welcome, he said gladly, to the lay of the band of misfits. Shut up! I am trying to sleep here. When Hammock pointed out angrily, Stone winced and called out in a hush. Sorry. Pink Point watched them all. Why does somebody we want you want our family, right? Stone smiled fondly, impressively. So there she had thought, she had imagined it. Oh, of course we're not. We are just friends. That needed help. You see, we weren't accepted in our homes. He paused for a second. Our parents were happy with our life choices, and we were thrown out. So we wandered for a while, separate of course, until we found each other. Likes attracts, you know. So a moment of time till we were drawing together. We decided that we should stick together, and he waved to her out. This is what happened. She eyed him dubiously. You built a caravan in the park? She was, with a shocked expression before bursting into laughter. Oh, no. We're travelers. We didn't have anywhere to stay. We knew that we didn't want to settle down, so we bought a caravan, got our instrument paints, whatever, and we set out. We basically go wherever we needed. So at the moment, we're in Calot, performing to locals. It's sometimes a hard life, but it's the only life we have. He paused to take them further into the caravans. seated at a small table in the back. Stone quickly changed the subject. Started talking fancy pants. Topics changing easily. She fancied a travel with the group at one point, himself a singer. She questioned this, to which Stone said, "Really? If you need opera, you'd be hard-pressed to beat this guy here. You'll not believe his voice." Vance lowered his head. "Oh, I wasn't that good. It's all in confidence. Just act like you're feeling fine. The audience will pick that up." Stone chuckled. "Still modest, I see." He turned to face her. "Anything that's enough about fancy pants here. How about yourself, Pinkie Pie? I haven't heard much about you. What do you do? Anything interesting?" She sighed slightly. "Oh no, I'm nothing special. It's an average pony, you know. My sister's skin hair. Kiss look while she was talking. I'm sure you don't want to bore you with detail. I'm just a baker. Nothing amazing like you guys." She was grasping at straws. Fancy watched her slightly dubiously. Funny enough. Stone's own face changed. He looked at Fancy as about to say something. "Of course, I would love to tell you some of my stories. My travel with the group, that is. But I bet you find them really interesting." Fancy shrugged, nodded. The conversation went on ahead as if nothing had happened. Fancy kissed his butt to add something. For most part, Stone was staying the thought train. He really had a believable life. Going all the way to get Griffin Kingdom, the Dragonlands, the Zebra Haven, and everywhere in between. He claimed the forced sea serpent. Never been friend for us of all places. But for some reason she doubted the truth behind that claim. Almost the whole time she was listening, Stone watched her gaze reaction. She didn't know why he was doing it. But from trying to see what she thought of the stories, but gave the impression he was searching for something particular. It became incredibly clear exactly what he was looking for. When fancy pants, so he needed to find a toilet. Though he'd been in Stone company for an hour, and other Hamlet's caverns were still asleep, releasing incredible mimics. Almost the moment the steward starting walked out the door, Stone's attitude changed. He was away from across the table. She began to get nervous under his glance. "So," he said, "is there any reason you picked Fancy as a host, or do you have a death wish?" And Bob stopped. "What, host?" He's nice about her. "Why are you impersonating her?" She froze, blood and cold. "How can you know?" "I don't know what you mean. Who am I impersonating?" "Save it," he deadpanned. "You can't hide it from someone like Fancy, but not someone like me." He almost looked proud. "It's obvious you're not Pinkie Pie. Someone like him. And who is someone like you?" Her eyes widened. "You really haven't realized yet how you can against your own kind, you numbskull. You really are the most pathetic changeling I've ever seen." "What?" "But I'm not changeling. What's this guy talking about?" So expression Harley. "Really now? Seeing Candlelight disguised as one of Fancy Pants' Fancy Pants are starting to hold highest of God's friends, and you're not a changeling?" For a moment his eyes flashed green. His voice started to burst slightly. "What do you expect me to believe? You better tell me who the hell you think you are, or so help me, I'm handing you over to the authorities. I don't take kindly to anything you push in my friends or any of theirs." A sudden flashback to a grey mare flew through her mind. At another point, changing thing had found out Lisa's suspicion. How did he see things so quickly? "I'm not glass." It put out their matter, so I was watching impatiently. Some of the occupants, the caravan, watching her popping her head out at them makes the watch. There was nowhere to go. She ran well. Fancy would find her soon enough. Her head fell. She had a deep sigh. Okay, you got me," she mumbled. "I'm not really Pinkie Pie." Stone motioned for a stop, and told one of the sleep ponies to stand watch to the front. The kid Fancy Pants came back and announced. They didn't let her speak. She told him everything. He stood silent the whole time, not even once asking questions. It seemed that he was happy to let her speak and see her point of view. When she had finished, he raised her aside. You realize, he started, just how unlikely it is you're going to meet her, right? The princess. She shuddered. You believe me? Stone shook his head. Pinky, or whoever you are, I have seen weirder stuff than this before, and frankly, the clone really does not surprise me all that much. Besides, the only situation I've had to live with for the last, well, very long time. I'm not changing. It's how we are. He paused. And I know I'm gonna regret this in all likelihood. She leaned forward and seat, winning his decision. Look, they're having a hard time getting out of his mouth. He went to his side. I am gonna have to let you go. I can't, in all good conscience, be this hypocritical, especially when it hits so close to home. She sighed, laughing in delight. Oh, thank you. I think, even before I begin to tell how much this means. He grinned. You don't need to. I've been in exactly the same situation you're in. I know how it feels, honestly. I want to see you win this. It'll feel good knowing that you get off the hook. It'll be a bit of a wake-up call. Look, a bit forward on this one. Admittedly, you'll begin treatment that we all hope. The pointy thing from outside ran in, motioning urgently Stone. Leo merely picked on the means that, put on his cool face. A moment later, Fancy walked in, looking more than a bit worried. I am sorry that took so long. You won't believe how hard it is to find a hygienic toilet around here. Tell our plan, I said. Are you ready to go, Pinky? It's getting dark. And now, you have a big day tomorrow, don't forget. She rose to her hooves, started to follow him. Just before she went out the door, something occurred to her. She turned to Stone. You say Fancy travelled with you for a while, performing with you? She eyed meaningfully. Did she know? Stone grimaced. You just don't tell somebody, some pony, Pinky. Isn't like that. We aren't held in the highest regard to begin with. Who do you think would happen if Fancy found out? She held up her hoof. But if he's going to find out about me tomorrow. And it's not that easy. I don't think Fancy is the kind of pony to judge someone by the looks. Fancy called off outside the caravan. Second as she was following him, she hurriedly called out, just thinking about what I said. He deserves to know. Last I Stone, she saw him staying at the tabletop. She stopped only to grab her cloak before walking outside. Fancy turned to her as they were walking. So what do you talk about with Stone? He asked. Oh, this is life. Pretty interesting. You'll be surprised. Back in the mansion, she was getting some odd looks. Not everything immediately obvious. She'll notice an occasional glance from Fancy Paws. A sneaky look from the corner of her eye. The moment she turned to look at them, the two would pretend they were doing something else. But as Fancy's voice took a good sense first. Pinkie Pie, are you sure? Are you feeling alright? She put on a smile. Thanks for the thought, but I'm feeling perfectly fine. Well, how bad am I good now? She quickly excused herself to her company and retreated to her room. The moment she was inside, she ran straight to the mirror, checked the image. Her breath halted. The coat had paled completely. Not a single bit left of original colour. Only key marker remained was a faint after image what it once was. Her eyes were still there, completely black. No colours at all either. The one that Fancy had been suspicious of her, avoid whatever he was, she looked completely different to what she once did. To make matters worse, nothing she could do about it, except for meet the princess. That was the only answer to her problems. She had to cover up as much as possible and try to escape their attention for the time being. She shakily climbed to her bed, trying to block out the black dots. Black pants. Multiplied why she had looked that way. Didn't matter, only one more night. She would meet her savior. The one get cleared up of any crime. Her last thoughts were of Rolling Stone and a band of ponies. The only one accepted her outright, didn't make any bands of her, unlike Octavia. Maybe she was cleared. Yes, maybe she could get them cleared too.